there was what Caitlin Clark did on her big day. She was surprised by the Fever organization after a workout with a birthday serenade and the like, but it was the video that they shared of her workout that blew up everywhere, and that's because Caitlin Clark was knocking down threes. 50 of 54, according to the team on the post.
Did you see what Caitlin Clark just did? On her birthday, she hit 50 out of 54 three-pointers, 93% accuracy. It's not just practice. She's coming off a rookie season with 19 points and 9 assists per game. Now, she's ready to take the WNBA by storm. Stick around to see why this could be the best point guard season we've ever seen.
Sure, look, either way, Caitlin Clark's going to be better than last year. Touch wood, barring injury, it's likely we see the greatest ever season for a point guard in WNBA history next season.
Remember when people doubted Caitlin Clark last season? Let's rewind to her rookie year in the WNBA. The pressure was high, but her shooting percentages weren't quite what we saw in college. Here's where it gets interesting.
One aspect of Clark's game that I wouldn't say was bad, but her percentage at three wasn't as high as it was the year prior at Iowa. Now, that a lot of that can be from going from one season to the next, obviously adjusting to the WNBA defenses.
This is the same player who was draining threes effortlessly at Iowa. So, is this the end of Clark's chalk shooting reputation? Not quite. Her rookie season was a roller coaster. In the first 10 games, she struggled to find her rhythm. Her assist-to-turnover ratio was nearly 1-to-1, and her shooting percentages were all over, sometimes even dipping below 30%. It was tough to watch for fans who knew what she was capable of.
We do forget that Caitlin Clark's numbers last season, she didn't have the greatest first 10 games. She wasn't bad in the first 10 games, but she had a near 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Her percentages were all over the place.
Here's the thing about Caitlin Clark. She doesn't back down. Despite a rocky start, she still averaged 19 points and almost 9 assists per game. But Clark knew she could do better. Fast forward to her latest practice, where she hit 50 out of 54 threes, 93% accuracy. That's not just good, it's incredible.
It is silly how good of a shooter Caitlin Clark is. But to be fair, obviously, I think there are more players in the WNBA that can do this in a workout. I don't think this is unique. Not that it's 50-54 is crazy. That's 93% through 50, which is madness. That's a serious number. That is a serious number, and I'm not sure how long it would take any shooter in the WNBA to do that. But the fact that they're
So how did she improve so much? Clark's been putting in the work. Her coach has been focusing on refining her pace and shooting mechanics. The goal isn't just good, but aiming for greatness. 80% from beyond the arc. It's clear she used those early struggles as motivation to get better.
On her birthday, she steps in and she goes and shoots 93% from three in a workout. Is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I was like,
you might be thinking, okay, Clark's crushing it in practice, but can she bring that energy to the game? Here's why her insane 93% accuracy in practice isn't just impressive. It's a sign of something much bigger. To be an elite shooter in basketball, most pros would be thrilled with hitting 80% in practice. But Clark, she breezed past that like it was nothing. This isn't just a good day at the gym. We're talking about next-level performance.
One thing is that she's practicing more a lot of corner threes. I can't remember the last time Caitlin Clark shot a corner three. Honestly, I can't remember. And it was funny, if you saw the home workout she used to do, the basketball court she used to shoot on didn't have corners. So it's that's why she never shoots the corner three. Because in the summer, she doesn't practice the corner three.
So what's happening when Clark's draining those threes? It's all about muscle memory, focus, and consistency. She's not just practicing. She's rewiring her brain. Each shot is a lesson for her muscles and mind, and repetition makes her body remember.
And obviously, look, Caitlin Clark's one of the best shooters in the world of basketball. But it's silly. For regular people, this is absolutely absurd.
You might be wondering, does this actually help in real games? Well, that's the big question. But here's the thing. Experts say Clark's high shooting percentage in practice could definitely translate to better performance in games. It's not just about hitting shots in an empty gym. It's about building muscle memory so strong that, even under pressure, her body knows exactly what to do.
And now I'm just looking at Caitlin Clark shooting 93% on a higher amount of shots. That is ludicrous. Like, that is absolutely ludicrous. And just a random workout. Like, I can guarantee you she's probably had workouts better than that.
Practice is one thing, but game day is a whole different level. So, can Clark bring that accuracy to the court when it counts? It's not just about the number of shots. It's about how she makes them. Her shooting form is flawless, repeating the same motion every time. That muscle memory is key to staying calm and hitting those shots when it matters.
And look, she's repeating that same motion every time. It looks exactly the same every time. There's no difference in any of these shots, right? It would look like you were seeing a replay. You're watching. And that's the most important thing with shooting. It's not about whether it goes in or not. It's about whether you are approaching it the same every time. You say let it fly, right? Like, you can miss 1,000 shots in a row. You got to shoot the next one when you're open. That's part of being a shooter.
If Clark keeps up this level of practice and brings it to game day, we could see one of the most dangerous shooters the WNBA has ever known. Imagine trying to guard someone who can hit a three from anywhere. But her shooting might not even be the scariest part. Coaches are calling her a complete floor general, and that's about to shake up the league.
The workout from Caitlin Clark. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, she does a lot more than shoot threes, but yeah, she also does that pretty well.
Let's talk about what makes a great point guard. It's not just about making baskets. It's about controlling the game, setting up teammates, and making everyone around you better. And that's exactly what Clark did during her rookie season. She wasn't just scoring. She was racking up assists, 2-19 points and 9 assists per game. Most players take years to hit those numbers, but Clark did it right from the start.
But it looks like her form is crisp and refined. And I think when you take into combination the fact that Clark is going to have fresh legs before next season, because she hasn't had that extended period of time off from basketball. I mean, who knows when the last time she did? Obviously, she had none this past year in her rookie year in the WNBA. So the fresh legs will be a factor.
Clark isn't just focusing on her shot. Her coaches are working on her pace, mechanics, and overall game to make her a complete player. That should have every team on edge. If she's this good now, imagine how much better she can get. Some even say her rookie season is the worst version of her potential. Let that sink in.
The fact is that she's there. Like, in college, it was, I'm going for 70% shooting from three. Like, that's kind of the workouts. That's the number she's looking to hit. She's probably up that to 80 is deep. I'd say 80% is probably her average three-point shooting workout, which is crazy.
If this is Clark at her worst, imagine what she'll be like at her best. Her rookie season had challenges, like a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, but she didn't let that hold her back. She's using it to fuel her growth. Clark's not just improving her shot, she's evolving into a complete floor general, changing her pace and tightening her mechanics. She's upgrading from a sports car to a Formula One racer, and the league better watch out.
Like, the Caitlin Clark that's going to come in next year, like, you can see, just look at her right arm. Just look at her right arm compared to last year. Like, she's obviously still skinny, but like, there is literally Caitlin Clark. Obviously, Amber Cox is there. Someone else is there giving her a birthday cake. But like, how many? It's like our coaches in front office. There are 4 individual coaches there for just Caitlin. Just Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever, and Caitlin Clark wins her first MVP. That's my prediction for next season. Is that Caitlin Clark wins the MVP, because surely there's got to be some voter fatigue on A'ja Wilson. With A'ja Wilson, there's got to be some voter fatigue. But you just never know. There might not be. There might not be when it comes to A'ja, because, well, she's A'ja Wilson. Like, if you're asking my prediction, I would say she's going to have more assists than last year. I think she's going to have the 9 assists, but I would project 22 and 9. But like, if she can go and bring that 3 up to a 38%, especially with the distance she shoots them, the fact they're off the dribble, like, the better she's shooting from 3, the more frees up her layup. She's not going to shoot under 60%. She's probably not going to shoot under 60% from layups. Like, she could very easily push herself up to, and the team playing a little bit faster, she could push herself up to 25 and 9. Like, that's a not unrealistic number for Caitlin Clark next season. 25 and 9.